Hi, this is Scott Garibay, and today we're going to talk about Dungeons and Dragons, and we're specifically going to talk about Dungeons and Dragons Honor Among Thieves. Spoiler warning, there is spoilers for Dungeons and Dragons Honor Among Thieves in this content, and so let's dive into this. Okay, so I want to talk about Simon Aumar today, and Simon Aumar is this sorcerer who joins Ed Gandharvis, and he's been in Ed Gandharvis's crew before, and he knows Olga and he knows Ed Gandharvis, and he is their magic user, their arcane magic user. And so what is really astounding about this D&D Honor Among Thieves is we're seeing tremendous reviews starting to roll in. People have seen the film, they love it. They're saying it's fun, it's joyful. I just watched a review that said, the guy said that he had had the best time he had ever had since watching Everyone Everywhere All at Once, which won the Oscar for Best Picture this year. Absolutely incredible. And Michelle Yeoh made history by becoming the first Asian to ever win an Oscar, which is incredible. So really, really huge. I'm very excited about this movie. But what really gets me is I'm astounded how people think this is just kind of a fun lark, and just a fun romp. And they're very much missing incredibly deep, meaningful themes that are in this film, which go right back to Gary Gygax. So when Gary Gygax created Dungeons and Dragons, he presented it as a game, and many people received it as a game. But I think if you were paying attention, what you really saw was that Dungeons and Dragons was this really critical identity. It was a tool to explore identity more than anything else. And in addition to that, it fundamentally changed how human beings tell stories going forward for forever, right? Before, stories were crafted for 1,000 to 1 million recipients, right? And because stories were created for 1 to 1,000 recipients, and there was a long gestation cycle of 12 months to even 12 years for a book or a big or small screen project, the author would just kind of plop this thing out, and there was no feedback from the audience, right? And Gary was like, no, I don't want to do this anymore. And he really changed storytelling forever. He was like, storytelling from now on is going to be incredibly personal, and it will be updated every single second by the recipient. And so in Dungeons and Dragons, if you go see a movie, this thing was just plopped out by some, director and a team, and it's not for you. It's for 100,000 to 100 million different people, and it has nothing to do with you, and it's not responsive to you. And Gary Gygax just shattered that entire model and said, it's going to be the people you're telling the story for are 4 to 5 people, and they will adjust the story with you. A transformational change in how humans tell stories forever, and the most powerful identity exploration tool that has ever been created. I will tell you right now, I don't think anything humanity has ever created is more important than Dungeons and Dragons on the secular side. It's just an unprecedented product. There's really nothing like it. And right now, we're in a stage where humans just really don't understand what it is. So let me prove to you that D&D Honor Among Thieves picks up exactly where Gary left off, right? So what is the biggest problem in America today? Well, we have a short list, and it's probably 5 to 7 problems, right? And one of those problems, within the top 7 problems of America, is the absentee male. The American male that thinks they're useless, has incredibly low self-esteem, thinks that nothing they do matters, and doesn't have the confidence to pick up the crown and be king again, right? The crownless American young male, right? Afraid to pick up the crown, doesn't think believes what they've been told, that that everything they do is toxic masculinity. Go, hey, shut up, go in the corner, pick up your Call of Duty, pick up your controller and play another round of Call of Duty. This society doesn't need you. We don't need you as a father. We don't need you as a husband. We don't need you as a boyfriend. But the whole society just told men, be gone. Men, be gone. We don't need you, right? And men have listened and they've heard, right? So get this. Dungeons & Dragons, Honor Among Thieves, runs headlong into one of the top 7 American problems right now. The checked out young American male. The crownless American male. No American male is interested in the crown anymore. They don't want to be a prince. They don't want to be a king. They don't want to be anything. They don't even want to be a stable hand anymore. And by and large, they are not going to college. They are not graduating. They are checking out as husbands. Most of them are never even signing up to be a husband. If an American male even has any sense of being a father, the normal structure today is go do the action to be a father, and then don't learn if you are a father or not. That's like the primary process now, right? Like, I don't know, I'm a father. It's literally low millions of men are in this situation, choosing it, right? Like, just completely checked out. So what does Dungeons & Dragons Honor Among Thieves have to say about this? Well, it's all about Simon Aumar. Simon Aumar like, oh, I'm just a guy who does a little magic show and steals from his audience. I can't do anything. I can't quest. I can't do any adventures. I can't cast spells well. I really can't even attune to magical objects. Every single spell I cast, I wonder if I can complete it. I tried dating this beautiful tiefling, Doric. It turned into tears and flames fast. She knew I sucked. She knew she didn't need me, right? Simon Aumar is every American male today. Low self-esteem, doesn't believe he can do anything, not accepting anything, like not accepting responsibilities, not accepting duties, and he won't pick up the crown. He won't put the crown on his head. Well, Dungeons & Dragons Honor Among Thieves heads straight toward this problem, right? And so there's this Helm of Disjunction, which if you look at it, literally has a silver crown crested onto the helm itself. And the entire movie, like large portion of the movie, is Simon getting ready to attune this thing. And he keeps jamming the helm on his head, and it keeps springing off. The crown is springing off of his head, but he keeps trying, and he keeps jamming it on and jamming it on and jamming it on. And I'll tell you, it almost brought tears to my eyes to think that Daly and Goldstein, the directors, were literally reaching into the American psyche and saying to every young male out there, do not stop jamming the helm on your head. Get the crown affixed. Attuned to leadership, attuned to husbandness, attuned to fatherhood, attuned to being desired and wanted, and reject your own low self-esteem and re-put the crown on your head. And when you see the film and you see Simon Aumar jamming the crown on his head, jamming the crown on his head, jamming the crown on his head, it is the most powerful picture of a modern American problem I have ever seen depicted in any piece of art. And this is Daly and Goldstein going right back to Gygax and saying, we saw what you did, we accept your any, and we raise you today's current American problem. And you just watch, just like Gary tricked the world, in my humble opinion, and realize you cannot fix the world with broccoli. You have to fix the world with chocolate. And he created a human flourishment engine and decides it as a game. That's what Daly and Goldstein, they have accepted Gygax's challenge, and they have fully created a film that masquerade as a fun bit of blockbuster, but the reality is there's layers and layers and layers of meaning in this thing. And so I'm excited to see it, and I'm excited for you to see the deeper meanings in this film and to see the things that I missed. Every single word of that is my humble opinion. What's important is when I get to hear your humble opinion, when you get in the comments and send your traffic. Please consider liking and subscribing and have a wonderful millennium.